Hello, it's me again, friends, with another video of my Garbage Pail Kids collection. So this is going to be the final binder of the original series, but I did stuff some extra stuff into this binder. This also has some big postcards, Giant Series 1, and then a couple of cards from the all-new series and brand new series, which were the first time, basically, they tried to bring back Garbage Pail Kids. They started the all-new series, and then they did the brand new series. At least I think I have the order correct there. So let's take a look. So we start out here, of course, with Series 14. Yep. Just making absolutely sure I know what I'm talking about. Alright, we're going to start out here with Mr. Rocco Sacco. We've got and Destroyed Boyd. You can see I've got 3 Roccos and 4 Destroyed Boyds. So let's see what's going on there. Looks like we have back variants here. So we've got these Would We Lie to You card backs again, which we did before in an earlier series. And then this one is the completed puzzle back, along with oh, and they also did these the flip card thing on the one side, so that you could stack the cards up and flip them with your thumb, and you would get like a sort of animation on the sides. It looks like it involves a toilet, which is not too surprising. So that's oh, and then of course also again we have the asterisk differences. Oh, and I've looked that up more carefully. I thought it was actually like printing runs, but that's not what it is. It's actually the 1 star indicates that you're. I think that card was on the left side of the printing. Oh, what do you call it? Like the printing press, and the 2 stars are the ones that are on the right side, or vice versa. I can't remember. But it's something like that. So it's more about, it's not about the different print run. It's about what side of the press or whatever, the big sheet it was on. So that's kind of interesting. So then we've got Rocco Sacco and Destroyed Boyd. So Destroyed Boyd, I have the 1 and 2 star of both backs, and for Rocco Sacco I only have I'm missing 1, so that's why we've got the different numbers there. Then oh, and Rocco Sacco is pretty funny. And Destroyed Boyd, he's getting his head punched right through his body and out the back end. They've definitely done boxing ones before where the character is getting beat up, but nothing quite like that before. This one is very creepy, this next one. Juggling Julian, I mean, right off you got the clown thing, which a lot of people find creepy right off the beginning, and then you've got this is like a weird wrinkled up clown who's juggling his teeth and eyes. Like, wow, that's creepy, very creepy. Nice details too on his like creepy wrinkled face. So that's Juggling Julian, and here's Up in the Aaron. I've only got 1 Up in the Aaron, so I'm missing 1 of those, either the 1 star or the 2 star. This one I always thought looked really cool. Undersea Lee and Sailin' Waylon. Having a hard time getting these in focus today for some reason. But this one has a really cool look to it, because it's like it's one of these like creepy like reversal type things where the real guy is in the water and the reflection is out of the water. It's just very strange and creepy and interesting. I really like that one. And it's got the nice detailed background again too, and that weird like ripply effect on the character. I really like that. Next up is this dude with zippers on his face, which is very creepy, and you can see his brain popping out the top of his head. Zipped Kip and Jack Tracks. And it's just, you can see it's more of these Would We Lie to You backs with the Garbage Gang banner. They do the hanging thing a little too often for my comfort, but here we are with Artie Party, who's hanging from a happy birthday balloon. And He's alive for now, but who knows how long that'll last. And his opposite number is Driftin' Clifton. So that's a creepy one. And there's another one with like, I always emphasize this, but there's another one with these really fun background details. We've got the, see if I can get this to focus for something. I don't know why I'm having such trouble with that today. Hold up a second. Anyways, here's our Driftin' Clifton. Yeah, and he's got these interesting background details. The cake and the knife and the shadow on the wall gives it kind of a realism, but also kind of a creepiness to it. Because of course there's a huge mess. And then we get another one of these great ones that I always enjoy, where they are parodying. They're doing a parody of fine art. This one is like of modernist Picasso type stuff, modern Marlise, and there's even a the Mona Lisa in the background, which they've also parodied, of course, in previously. So we've got modern Marlise and abstract Abbey. I've only got one of each of those. I've only got the 2 stars for those guys, so I'm missing the 1 stars for those. Here's oh, and you'll notice too that the stars are on the front for these. These are a puzzle piece, so they put the stars on the front instead of the back. They do that sometimes. We've got Cuckoo Clark. We've got the old standby of Vomit going on here, but we've got it as a cuckoo clock character, which is a little bit different. And Bile Lyle, lovely. Looks like I've got all those of those 2 guys, both versions. We've got another guy hanging, but this time it's by his tongue. He has been nailed to the wall. Poor fellow. Wall to wall, and you can see that they've got it nailed into the logo, which is pretty clever. And then we've got a lot of wall-to-walls and nailed Noel. Let's see what that's about. I'm guessing there's a back variation. Yeah. So this guy has, one version of the card has the "Would We Lie to You" back. Let's see. Yes, has the "Would We Lie to You" back, and then the other version has the checklist. Gotta love the checklists. So moving on, we've got some landscape guys. Shannon Cannon. Again, we're going the route of Vomit here, where the GPK is an actual like cannon. I'm not sure what I guess this is supposed to be in the middle of a war zone. It looks like that she's like firing out her own like guts or something. It's lovely. And Bomb Shelly. And then we've got Violent Viola, where again we've had the character cutting through something to end up cutting themselves too. This time it's a violin. Saw and Susan. And again, I've only got the 2 stars for these. And what we've got over here? More Vomit. This time it is a cheerleader. Rah Rah Ronnie and Sisboom Bonnie. Wow, I don't know what the deal is with my phone today. It just does not want to focus. Not sure why. But, yeah, this is another nice and gross one. With lovely detail on the vomit, which, you know, is hard to see because my phone won't focus. That's frustrating. I wonder if I turn the light off, it would help. Let's see. No, that's just as bad. Sorry, folks. Alright, let me put this back on so you can see better. But, I'll see what I can do with this thing. So now we've got this guy, which is this one always kind of creeped me out, too. When he's, sharpened himself like a pencil with a giant pencil sharpener, and you can actually see his brain sticking out at the top. Half-wit. That's not a very, it's a unpleasant name, too. Leadhead Ned. We only got 1 leadhead, so missing one of those. Here's Cold Sore Lenore. This one is also particularly disgusting, with this giant, disgusting cold sore covering her lips entirely. Really gross. And Kissy Missy. Thank you for that. And we've got another one of these weird ones. with another character on the card, sort of faceless character who's, you know, messing with the GPK. In this case, it's Rufus Refuse, and he's being like stabbed and picked up as a piece of garbage. See if I can get this to focus. Come on. Oh my gosh, why is this not working? If I knew anything about cameras, that would probably help. Ah, well. But yeah, the weird thing here is he's like, there's already another one in the bag. Like, there's just a bunch of kids lying out here. This guy's stabbing and throwing in the garbage. But to be fair, they are Garbage Pail Kids, so I guess that's where they belong. And here's a cleaned up Parker. And then we've got an E.T. parody here with Alien Ed and Phone Homer. That one's fun. It's pretty cool looking. Mothy Martha and Nailed Natalie. Obviously an insect nailed to a board here. Only got the 2 stars for those too. And here's Stew Brew and Empty Ken, where we've got the GPK has become a can, and it's of course kind of barfing as always. And then we've got the hands coming off idea again, which they've done before. I think they even did Hans off as a joke before, and Numb Nate. You know, they definitely tried to not duplicate jokes like that, but I think after a while they just got tired and started reusing them. But here's Dwayne Steen and Spilled Gill. This guy is just a dog, drinking some beer, lapping Larry and guzzling Guy. Then we've got this guy who, this one is weird. Marshroom. It looks like someone decided to take a bite of this fellow, and it did not go well for that person. Yeah, it's not a good idea to just eat random mushrooms that you find in the forest. PSA there. And here's Todd Stool. There he is. Looking good. Alright. Post No Bill. I've got a number of Post No Bills. And here's Bulletin Boris. I wonder why I have these extras. Let's have a look. Is there back variation again? Yes, it is. So they're both Would We Lie to You backs, but they're slightly different versions. There's one with a yellow Garbage Gang banner about Fried Franklin, and then there's one with a blue Garbage Gang banner that has a different gag on it. So there you go. And then we've got the old couch potato, Dictator, and Potato Chip. And another tool motif. They've done them like this before, like hammers and stuff. And this guy his tongue is a ruler, millimeter and as a rule. This one I always found really unpleasant, but I think it might be the only Easter-themed Garbage Pail Kid in the original series. We've got Easter Bonnie and Hard-Boiled Meg with the Easter-themed toilet paper struggling to poop out Easter eggs. That's just a lovely image. Here's another really disgusting one. This guy's got bugs all over him. Swarmin' Armin, Infested Lester. And this one I kind of like. We're going back to the old school pushing a button to blow something up kind of atom bomb type thing, but this time it's Doomsday Dom, and it's a computer, like, I don't know, like shooting a nuke at is it supposed to be the Capitol building? I'm not sure. Or the White House. That I'm kind of surprised they were able to print this card. It seems kind of terrorist threatening type stuff. A-Bomb Tom. Glut Tony, which is, he looks like a horse, like, and he's using a garbage can as a feed bag. Nice and disgusting. Phil Swill. And we've got what do we got here? Cut Kurt. So this is why you shouldn't get too close to the fan. I don't think it would actually do that to an actual person, but there you go. and Electric Fanny. Ava Shaver and Holly Hormone. Yeah, so that one's a little questionable. The girl with the braided mustache. And moving along, this poor fellow who is like torn his mouth open and stretched it across his face. Really pretty disgusting. Rubber Robert and Inside Otto. You know, I've got a lot of these where I only have the 2-star. I think this might be one of the weird series where for certain cards they actually only came in a 2-star variety. I'm not 100% sure about that. I'd have to check that out, but that does sound familiar to me when I think about it. And here's another one. They've done stuff like this before. There was and much earlier card where there was a character who's had a mask on that was kind of like a normal face, and then underneath it they were this monstrous thing, and it's the same kind of idea, but it's not a mask, it's a cardboard cutout kind of. Fake Jake and Sham Sam. Pretty creepy. I like that one. Here we've got the snot on the sandwich idea again. I feel like they did this before already. Snot Witch Sandra and oh, it's just a lot of Snot Witch Sandra. And there's Head of Spreader. We probably got alternate backs. Yeah, one of these is the Would We Lie to You gag, and the other one is the completed puzzle back. And here's some more Head of Spreaders. We've got this poor guy, Shattered Shell and Fractured Frank. There's another one of these that's really pretty gruesome, because there's like, I mean, guts and brains and blood. I mean, wow, that's intense. He's being cleaned up. And then we've got Brain Drain Brian. They're always doing the brains. This guy was picking his nose and got a little carried away. And you see the crack in the arm, like they're always trying to do that. And his his opposite number, Pickawinnie. Croaked K. So we're doing a croquet one now. And this poor fellow's his head is being used to play the game. Croaked K. Got 2 Croaked Ks and 2 Sporty Mortys. That just makes me think of Alice in Wonderland, but that's because nobody really plays croquet anymore, so you just always think of Alice in Wonderland. At least that's what I always think of. Anyway, here's Sewn Sonia, who has become stuck in the sewing machine. It looks very unpleasant. Yeah, and this is one of these ones where, like I said in an earlier video, usually the GPK, regardless of what's happening to them, they still look kind of okay with it. You know, they're like smiling or they're just kind of, whatever. But she does not look happy. And STITCHIN TYNE. And then we've got another phone one. They've done the phone gag before, but this time the GPK is the phone and someone else is trying to use them. And they've got, of course, snot all over the place. Dyla, Twyla, and Phone Bella. And we've got this, Judd Cud. I remember the one where the GPK was toothpaste, but now he's like, I don't know, gum, or maybe he's supposed to be chewing tobacco. I don't know. But it's, of course, it's really disgusting with like spit everywhere. And at least the teeth aren't bad. Well, that one looks chipped, but with the toothpaste guy, I remember the teeth looked really disgusting. Judd Cud and Spearmint Mindy. And the last one for this series, Burnt Out Brett and Burn Toast. He's a toaster and his brain is popping out. Lovely. And there you go. That's series 14. And now we're moving on to the final of the original series, which is series 15, which starts out with Shell Game and 3-card Monty, who is doing the old shell game, but his actual eyeball is underneath underneath one of the walnuts here. And you'll see I've got a lot of different versions of this guy. So this is another back variation where we've got this time we're for this series we're doing the Garbage Gang back is a horrible horoscope, or over here we've got asinine astrology. So that's their theme for this series. But of course, besides that, we also have a checklist back on this first card, and of course we've got the 1 and 2 star for each of them, so that's why there are all those variations. And then after that first card, we've got Take Out Dinah, which is again consuming the snot. Really not my favorite theme, but they harp on it a lot. This one is a little questionable because it has this, now we've got the chopsticks, and the GPK has a certain like Asian look to them, which is a little questionable. I don't know. And what else we have here? She must have some variations as well. Chow Meme is the other one. And yeah, this guy's got the astrology back and also the puzzle piece back. And then we move on to Lyle Tile, who is the ancient Egyptian theme that they've touched on before. This time it's looks like it's the wall in a bathroom, and he's barfing on the wall. Lovely. And Harry Glyph. There's really a lot of variations in this series in these first set of cards. So this guy is there's a completed puzzle back or a puzzle piece back variation here. Then we've got Slimy Jaime. Really, really disgusting. Just absolutely covered with worms. They're like popping out of his head and his mouth. Ugh. And again, he has a back variation. He has a puzzle piece back or a completed puzzle back. And then there's Crawlin' Rollin'. Try to get that to come into focus a little bit. There we go. And then we've got Picky Nick, who is a ghoul baby, eating bones in the cemetery. Going pretty creepy on that one. And Beulah Ghoul. Is that how you say that name? I'm not sure. Yeah. You'll see where the numbers got pretty high here at the end. We're up to, I think we hit the 600s eventually here. Here's Peter Cheater, who's like got himself stretched all over the classroom trying to get the answers for his test. Dean List. That's pretty good. Oh, and we're back to the toilet again. So I'm eating with the toilet. So we've got somebody here is eating their cereal out of the toilet. That's just really gross. Cornelia Flake. Oh, and the cereal is Tops brand cereal. And Mala Nutrition, which is a pretty good name. Now this guy is yogurt. It seems like this wouldn't be that gross, where the character is just like frozen yogurt, but with the color and the shape, they've managed to make it really gross. They are good at that. And the other version is Ice Cream Connie. We've got Benedict here. This guy cracking his head open and dropping his brain into the pan. Oh man, these are really gruesome. Brainless. And we've got the snot again. Little Leak Len. We've done baseball and pitching even before. This guy is pitching with lots of snot on the ball. I don't know if that's allowed. I feel like that would be an illegal pitch. The ball's been tampered with. We got the puzzle piece back. Snotball Saul is the other version. And the other teammates in the background. And this is one of these fun, like, creepy turnaround concepts where there's a hot dog eating a person. The GPK, I assume, is the hot dog. Frankfurter Dog Bites Boyd. That's really a great name. I enjoy that one. And here's this poor guy, Extra Dexter and Flabby Abby. Looks like they probably lost some weight and the skin is just hanging off them. It's unfortunate. Oh, so here's another rabbit. We had the Easter Bunny earlier. Now I've got this guy who looks like he bought a rabbit's foot from a novelty store to replace his missing foot. Footloose Fred and Lucky Lou. This one is very strange. Tie-dye. Where the character is all like tied up, but they're in this weird like romantic kind of pose. I don't know. It's unpleasant. And Naughty Lottie. So I have 3 tied dyes. And I'm honestly not sure why. So we've got 2-star, 2-star. They're all 2 stars. So I'm not really sure why I have all those different versions of that card. The backs all look the same. I don't know. I'd have to do some research to figure out why I have an extra one of that. Here's another really gruesome one. Malpractice and intensive carry, where the GPK is a bag of bloody garbage that is being pulled out of someone's body by surgeons. Wow, just really gross. And here's another Christmas themed one. Santa Claus, who is not who you'd want to visit your house on Christmas, because he is just dumping garbage down the chimney. And his alternate is Sick Nick. Yeah, he's pretty sick, all right. Here's one that's nice and gross, where the fellow is arriving for a date with flowers that are somehow growing out of his armpit. Yeah, the date is not too happy with this. Hairy armpits and under Arnie. We've got the Tool theme again. This guy is squishing his own head in a vice. Vice guy and Hugh Fix-It. I've got an extra vice guy here too. Let's see what that's about. Again, I'm puzzled. I'm not sure why I have an extra vice guy, because they're all 2 stars and they all seem to have the same back. I don't know, there are some variations, I guess, in the back. So the picture looks a little bit different, but yeah, I don't know. You Fix It. Here's we got a lot of brains in these final series, it seems like. Here's Burnout, who's a light bulb, and Dim Bulb Bob. He's busted and his brain is dripping out all this goo. Oh man, super gross. And this one I kind of like, Vendo Matt, where he, again, this is one of these like weird Twilight Zone type reversals where the coin is the head on the character and he's inserting his head as a coin into the machine. Very strange. Doug Slug, Vendo Matt. And here's another fellow. He's another like losing weight type card, but very strange, this one. Half of him is just a skeleton, and the other half is this huge guy. It looks like maybe he has this diet soda to blame for his strange appearance. I don't know. Zip diet soda. Let's stay away from that stuff. Losing weight and high cholesterol. This is another one of these that I like, where they've fiddled with the like perspective and like flip things around. So we've got Upside Donna, which has a name on top and bottom, upside down, and it's like the logo in the middle. It's almost like you're seeing 2 cards face to face, like flipped it and slammed together. I don't know, it's cool. It's weird. The character is like one head between 2 bodies. And yes, there you go, 2 for 1. And then we're back to baseball again with Mitch Mitt, whose own hand appears to be a baseball mitt, which is like useful, I guess. And he's got stitches even in his face and his arms, so he's just built for baseball. Foul Bill. And then we've got this guy playing in the kitty litter. This is really gross. Sandy Box. And cat litter, which I really feel like they didn't really put a lot of effort into that name. Oh, and then we've got farting again. This is Windy Mindy and Birthday Kate, who's blowing out the candles with a gigantic fart, and everyone at the party is just horrified. It's quite a fart too, because the candles are still there and they're still lit. The cake is flying off the table. Impressive. This is another one that's weirdly gross, where the GPK is a towel, one of these like rolling towels, and somebody's drying their hands off, but their hands are like weirdly filthy, like absolutely covered in filth. Ugh. Foul towel roll and Muddy Buddy. Oh, and then we've got oddly enough, the Pee Wee Herman reference here. Kit Video, and Ham Actor. He's got a little crack in his head. He's got an actual cat that he seems to have split in half and is using as puppet. It's disgusting. This is a fun one I like. The Fairy Mary. She's like a magical fairy wonderland type card, but then she's barfing up this rainbow. Stinker Bell. Yeah. I like the fantasy angle there, and the rainbow barf is funny. And then we've got another one of these where they've done this before, where the GPK is peeing just a impossibly large amount and flooding an area. This time it's Dewey, and Dank Frank. I feel like they've even used the Dewey thing before on a card like this. Yeah. We've got some diapers there, but they're not going to hold up against this. And then we've got Bo Constricted. Poor fellow has been eaten by a snake. And Coiled Carl. Yeah. And here we go. Acid Wayne. They've done this kind of thing with the polluted river before, but that one was a bridge. Now this is the person actually in the polluted water, and the part of their body that's in the water is like turning immediately to a skeleton. Polluted Paul. That one's pretty neat, again, with the details and the colors. It's pretty dark. Now we've got Shoe Lacey. This is actually a weird one. It's like an old mythological character, the person with only one big leg and one giant foot at the bottom. I think they even had that. I feel like those appeared in like Gulliver's Travels or something. I can't remember. Weird Walker. They really started getting some really weird ideas here. Now the GPK is a bagpipe that somebody is playing. Bagpiper and Great Scott. Got the Scottish connection now. And here we go. Fillin' Dylan and Cutting Juan. That's pretty good. Farting again, but this time in order to keep a hot air balloon in the air. Amazing. I've got a magician who's got the snot rag. Preston Chain Joe. Sleight of Hans. I do like the names. Sometimes they don't put a lot of effort into it, but sometimes it's really pretty clever. We've got ALEC GATOR. Now this is another reference, pop culture reference here. This is, of course, what's his name? That Dundee guy. Those movies were big in the 80s. Crocodile. And another pop culture reference to another movie. This is, of course, the Nightmare on Elm Street series. There's Claude Flesh and Slasher Asher. That one's dark. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to see some of the details, but I guess it should be dark given the subject matter. Here's Paper Dolly with the character cutting paper dolls out of their own flesh. Katie cut up. And I like this one. I just like the look of it, the kind of goofy robotic type face where the GBK has become a VCR and is spitting out the tape like they're barfing, of course. Do people remember VCRs? I grew up with them. There's VC Arnie and Cassette Casey. Yeah. And then they finished things off in the original series with another reference to their most famous card. But this time it's a girl version. So it's Atom Bomb, but it's Ada Bomb and Blasted Betty. I've got some blank space here. I'm not sure why I left this open. I guess there must be there's either some more versions of the cards that I planned on getting, probably like error cards or something, or I just got lazy and left the empty space. Not 100% sure on that. And here we go. Now we're moving on. So that was the original series. That's the end of the original series. This is pretty exciting, and you've got like how many cards? 620 A's and B's, so you're talking what? 1,240 cards And then, of course, I have many different versions of them. So I don't even want to try to guess how many of those cards I have in the original series. But so this next series that I have in here are the giant postcards. So they, besides having they printed giant sized versions of the first series cards, they also printed these giant postcard cards that are like, have these goofy gags on them, and they have the giant versions of some of these like licensed things that were from the first series. And these, you can see, these came out in the 86. So these are, I think these were right around the same time as the first series. So, and this one is kind of fun because it's got the two different versions of this first series card, like holding each other infinitely. Infinite regression, they were always into that. This one has a cemetery lease on the back, and these are like, they're in this giant size, and they also, they didn't put the numbers on the front, they put them on the back. You'll see this has a number 2 in the corner there. And some of them were just, they just look almost like posters or something, like this Garbage Pail Kids rule, and they got these different concepts for Garbage Pail Kids. And some of these guys aren't even, never actually became cards. Like, there aren't cards for these particular characters. They just made them up for this little postcard type thing. It's number 3. Garbage Pails. Foul Bill. Boom. Nice details there on that one. There's number 4. Least Valuable Player Award. I like this one. Have a nice day. And he looks very happy, but he's got all these weapons slammed into him. He's number 5. Hooked on Garbage Pail Kids. She actually has a giant hook through her. Looks like she's being used as bait. Why fight it? Collect Garbage Pail Kids. This guy's getting his, like, heart, or no, what is that? Is that like I think it's like a rock. It's like shooting through his body. Shrapnel or something. Take a Garbage Pail Kid to lunch. That was a real Garbage Pail Kid, I'm pretty sure. Visit Garbage Pail. Oh, sorry about my dog in the background there. Visit Garbage Pail National Park, and they've got George Washington looking very unhappy to be in this company. And that one really does look like a postcard, and even has the back that looks like a postcard. This place blows me away. So that one's number 9. Yeah, here we go. The Garbage Pail Kids Circus. Disgusting, sickening, repugnant. These are pretty fun. That one's number 10. This is a great one. How to be a Garbage Pail Kid. And they've got all these goofy little things pointed out on this. This is a sort of a combination of various Garbage Pail Kids, I think. Mushroom Cloud, Bear Trap. It takes guts to be a Garbage Pail Kid. I love this one. It's just like incredibly detailed, with like all these. It's like, it looks like that Visible Man toy that you could get. That was like a clear plastic person with all the guts and bones inside, and that. But of course, this one is full of garbage and crap because it's Garbage Pail Kids. And the winner is Miss Garbage Pail Kid. Bunch of hideous contenders for a beauty contest. Busted Garbage Pail Kid. This one's pretty funny because this actually makes fun of. There were actually news stories at the time about kids bringing Garbage Pail Kids into school and getting in trouble for having them and for trading them. And all the Garbage Pail Kids that you see in this picture are actual Garbage Pail Kid cards that they've recreated in this tiny format on this card. So that's really cool. That's a fun one. And here's Garbage Pail School Senior Class. A bunch of Garbage Pail Kids being awful in their class picture. The interesting thing about this is that they sort of followed up on this idea and this theme later on, because very recently they had a Garbage Pail Kids Back to School series where the whole concept was that Garbage Pail Kids were, some of them were in school and some of them were the students and some were the teachers. So there's 15 in this series, and I believe that is the whole series of those postcards. And then this next thing in the binder is the Giant Series 1. So this is just these are just reprints basically of some but not all of the Series 1 cards. And you can see a checklist of them here. This is the actual packaging that I have a couple copies of here. And they have they didn't do them all for some reason. They almost did them all. And they didn't do the A's and B's, so they just have like one of each of most of them. I don't know how they made that decision, like which ones to include and which ones not to, but yeah, I have a pretty good number of these as well. Actually, I'm not sure if I have them all. I might have them all. No, I think I'm missing a couple, but there's Nasty Nick, and the backs are the same. They're just, of course, gigantic. Junk Food John, and they didn't put the numbers on the front. They put them on the back. So you actually get sort of a better look at the art for these cards than you do on the original first series cards, because you can the number's not on the way and the picture is much bigger. So these are pretty cool. Fry and Brian, Art Apart. Yeah, I've got a blank page here. I'm missing. It looks like I'm missing number 5. And we got Stormy Heather, the classic Atom Bomb in gigantic size, Unstitched Mitch, Al and Al, Mean Gene, Cranky Frankie, Corroded Carl, Swell Mel, Drippy Dan, Creepy Carol, Brainy Jamie. Yeah, I wonder how many of these I am missing. So that, yeah, I'm also missing 26. It looks like I'm missing 24. Yeah, I'm missing quite a few of these actually. There's Boney Joni, Rundown Rhoda, Frigid Bridget, Kim Kong, Wrinkly Randy. That's all I've got of the Giant series, and I didn't really get into collecting most of the series from after the original series. I have picked it up again with some of the more recent series, but these that came immediately after the original series, the all new series and the brand new series, I have not really collected, but I ended up getting a couple of random cards just thrown into lots that I purchased on eBay. So of course I wasn't gonna throw them away. So I put them in like these small pages in the binder, and of course you'll see that they're still harping on the Atom Bomb character. They always bring him back in different forms, and this one, these all new series was also sort of a 20th anniversary series for the original release, so that you've got this 20 gross years cake here with him blasting out of it, and he has the same names, Atom Bomb and Blasted Billy. So that's all I really have of the all new series, and that's from All New Series 4, and then I have a couple random ones from Brand New Series 2, another version of Atom Bomb, except this time he's been sort of de-violenced by some hippies. And then we've got Hole in One, and fellow is Ticked Off Tucker. These are pretty violent ones with bullets and people getting shot in the head. Wow. Busy Bee. That's rough. There you go. That's what being a parent is like sometimes. And Trim Jim, who has gone a little too far with these scissors. And these are interesting in that you see that some of these don't have numbers on them. So oh, okay. So these are actually I kind of led you astray there. I stuck these in with my brand new series because I didn't have enough of them to really bother with their own section. But these are actually bonus stickers that came with these are bonus stickers that came with the book I have a book of Garbage Pail Kids that has a bunch of them like reprinted and has a fun introduction about the history of Garbage Pail Kids from the people who made them. So that one came with some extra cards, and they're considered, it says they're lost Garbage Pail Kids stickers from the archives that had never been printed before. So they slipped those in with the book. So that's fun. There's only 4 of them, and I have all 4 because I actually only found these recently and stuffed them in the back of this binder because I hadn't really looked too hard at that book. I was just like, oh, this is cool. Garbage Pail Kids, sure. And I hadn't really looked too hard at it. And then I took a look in there. I found the cards, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. So yeah, they didn't put numbers on the front because they didn't have numbers. These were not included in any series before. Just pulled out of the archives and printed for the book. So that's pretty cool. So there you go. That's the last of the original series, plus a couple of bonus things in the end there. And this is a very long video, so I apologize for that, but hopefully you found it interesting. And I do have more binders of yet more cards that I can go through, which I probably will in future videos. So thanks for watching, and I hope you'll come back again for the future videos. Thanks. Bye.